dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good evening, I'm Macy Marie. Friday, Congress and President Trump reached a temporary compromise after a 35-day partial government shutdown. The government is back open and employees are getting paid. This includes the nearly 400 people who work at the Big Sandy United States Penitentiary in Martin County. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher caught up with one worker to learn the struggles each employee faced.
A huge weight lifted for many Eastern Kentuckians.
Thank God.
I talked with Jerry Jackson Jr. on day 12 of the government shutdown.
The struggle's real.
Now he says he is in a much better place.
Very humbling for all of us. I mean, we're very proud of our jobs. We're proud to do it for our country. And we're also proud to protect the community around us.
However, there is still the lingering feeling of worry as the government could shut down again in February.
People are on edge. I mean, they're still guarded, and it's like I've advised a lot of them, save what money you can.
For 35 days, he and his co-workers struggled to make ends meet.
We had a lot of people struggling. We had some people staying up there just to save on money and gas because they knew they couldn't get back to work.
And he does not want to go back to those hard times.
Hopefully this shutdown doesn't happen again, which I pray it doesn't.
During the shutdown, multiple people and businesses stepped in to help ease the burden.
We're very thankful for the people that support us.
Once everyone is back on their feet, he says they plan to repay the community for their help.
We appreciate all the community for helping us. We plan on returning favor and then some.
For now, he has a message for Congress.
I would say let politics step aside and work what's best for the country.
Hoping for an agreement. In Martin County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
Congress has until February 15th to come up with a deal on border security that President Trump will support. Two teens face charges tonight after police say they threw a rock that hit a Boyle County deputy in the face. The pair are charged with assault of a police officer, criminal mischief, and leaving the scene of an accident. Police say the deputy was responding to reports of someone throwing rocks from a bridge near Lexington Street. His cruiser was hit by one of those. Police say the deputy crashed and his cruiser rolled over several times. Boyle County Sheriff Derek Robbins says his deputy is lucky the damage was not any worse.
The rock itself was big enough that if it would have hit him in the right spot, it could have killed him.
The teens are being held in Adair County. Police say they were sent videos and tips to help track down those teens. Deputies in Clay County arrested two men after needles were found in plain sight inside the truck they were driving. Deputies got a reckless driving complaint about the truck, leading to them pulling it over. The driver, Denny Cunnigan, and the passenger, Christian Roberts, were both arrested. Deputies also found a controlled substance inside the vehicle. The pair face multiple drug-related charges. Unemployment rates rose in 41 of West Virginia's 55 counties in December. Workforce West Virginia says jobless rates dropped in 9 counties and remained steady in 5 others. Jefferson County had the lowest unemployment rate at 3%. Calhoun County was the highest at 12.4%. The Virginia Senate approved legislation to end suspension of driver's licenses for people with unpaid court fines and costs. The measure passed Friday. Virginia collects about $10 million a year from people paying to reinstate their licenses after they're suspended for unpaid court fees. Advocates for changing the law say it unfairly punishes the poor.
Well, it has been a quiet day here in the mountains, but that is quickly going to change as we head into your Monday and into your Tuesday as well. You can see, though, we started with a few clouds today, a little bit of a mixed precipitation for some as well. We started to see partly cloudy skies, though, as we head into those overnight hours. Temperatures, they're already near freezing for some, into those lower 30s, some spots into those upper 20s, seeing some mid-30s down into the Cumberland Valley. For tonight, though, we'll be right around those lower 30s with partly cloudy skies. Once again, calm conditions as we head into your Monday, but that's quickly going to change as a winter storm watch is in effect. Now, this is in effect Tuesday morning until 4 a.m. until 7 p.m. on Tuesday for those counties in blue, and that's because of the system that'll be moving its way into the mountains. So as we look ahead, rain moves in Monday night, transitioning into snow early Tuesday morning. Behind that, Arctic air really starts to rush in, and then we're going to see those wind chill values in the negatives. So we got a lot to talk about. We'll talk about that and more coming up in just a few minutes. Macy.
All right, thank you, Paige. The University of Kentucky's Faith Moves Mountains program visits Perry County to share its newly launched Appalachians and Control Diabetes Research Project with those looking to improve diabetes outcomes. WYMT's Taylor Upchurch visits the Bowman Memorial United Methodist Church as community health care workers offered the congregation a free health screening.
Do you or someone you know have diabetes?
I know I'm at risk, and I think it's a good time to find out.
If you have a high risk of diabetes, Faith Moves Mountains could help you find a doctor. They partner with organizations interested in outreach and helping communities better their health through this research project.
No matter where we are in Eastern Kentucky, we have churches everywhere. Up every hill and holler, we're dotted with churches.
They're not physicians, they're not nurses. They're well-trained community health workers.
Which helps people learn what questions to ask when visiting their doctors.
I know what people are going through, so I'm able to talk to them because I've dealt with it myself.
It's really good because a lot of the medical terms people don't understand anyhow, and if you can just put it on our level, then people will benefit more because they'll know what you're talking about.
Those eligible for the study have the choice to take part in a paid interview session, followed by 6 weeks of diabetic education classes, teaching them how to self-manage. The catch? The screening tests are repeated to see what is retained.
Participants are going to get paid $35 4 different times, at baseline, 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months.
Workers say each church is compensated $500 as well. In Perry County, Taylor Upchurch, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, you must be 18 or older to participate. If you or an organization you know is interested in signing up for the AIC Diabetes Research Project, just head over to our website, WYMT.com, for some more information. Starting tomorrow, Ohio's Department of Taxation will begin accepting 2018 state income tax returns. That's including those online. More than 5.5 million Ohio taxpayers are expected to file by the April 15th deadline. There are several changes this year, including an increase to the maximum deduction for medical savings account contributions. A 21-year-old man faces murder charges after he shot and killed 5 people in Louisiana. He was found this morning in Virginia. Sheriffs in Louisiana say Dakota Thurett had been living with the family of his 20-year-old girlfriend, Summer Ernest. Inside their trailer on Saturday morning, he allegedly shot and killed her, as well as her father and her 17-year-old brother. Then he went to his parents' home and shot them. He was headed to his grandmother's home when he was caught. He now faces 5 counts of first-degree murder in Louisiana. An 8-year-old Guatemalan boy who died in the custody of U.S. border agents last month was buried today. Felipe Gomez Alnoza died after being detained with his father. He was taken to a hospital when a Border Patrol agent noticed he was sick. He died on December 24th. He was the second child in December to die while being held by U.S. authorities, sparking outrage from immigration advocates. Roger Stone today insisted he's innocent. The Republican operative is set to appear in court this week. He's also the 6th associate of President Trump to be charged in connection with the Mueller probe. Here's Jeff Pegus.
With his next court appearance on Tuesday, indicted former Trump campaign advisor Roger Stone suggested that he may be open to cooperating with the special counsel.
I'm going to tell the truth no matter what. I have no intention of not telling the truth. I have never not told the truth. Claims that I was less than truthful before the House Intelligence Committee will be disproven.
According to court papers, Stone spoke to senior Trump campaign officials about WikiLeaks' future releases of information stolen from Democratic Party computer systems by Russian-backed hackers. Stone, who has been friends with the president for decades, has denied that he ever shared information about WikiLeaks with then-candidate Trump in 2016. In a tweet on Saturday night, President Trump mentioned Stone's indictment and the dossier, which he called a total phony con job. The dossier, which was compiled by former British spy Christopher Steele, was just one of several pieces of information that led the FBI to launch the Russia investigation in 2016. The special counsel is seeking to determine if there was coordination between Russian operatives and the Trump campaign. Stone faces 7 counts of lying, obstruction, and witness tampering.
Adding up the charges, the counts, that's 45 years behind bars. Would you serve 45 years behind bars if you're found guilty?
I don't answer hypothetical questions. I'm going to be acquitted and I will be vindicated.
The indictment also alleges that Stone communicated with someone identified in court papers as Person 1 about WikiLeaks. Conservative author and conspiracy theorist Jerome Corsi says that he is Person 1 and that he is willing to testify against Stone, who is preparing to leave his South Florida home for Washington. Jeff Pegues, CBS News, Fort Lauderdale.
The number of suicides among active duty Marines reached a 10-year high in 2018. Marine Corps data obtained by CNN showed that there were 57 confirmed and suspected suicides among active duty troops last year. Another 18 Marines in the reserve forces are either confirmed to have committed suicide or their deaths are being investigated as suspected suicides. Many of the cases were young Marines who had not been deployed overseas and had not been in combat. 74 years ago, the Auschwitz Nazi death camp was liberated by the Red Army. Former prisoners and state representatives took part in a ceremony at the site. Survivors share their testimonies of horrors they experienced and witnessed at the camp. The camp operated from 1940 until January 27, 1945. More than 1.1 million people, mostly European Jews, perished at Auschwitz during World War II. A gas leak led to an explosion in Hague that injured 9 people. The Dutch city's fire department said the explosion caused their 3-story apartment to collapse on Sunday. 7 people were taken to nearby hospitals. Media outlets report people living inside the building complained of a gas smell a week before the incident. And still to come at 11, a new study finds an increasingly popular way to get around is also proving a risky ride.
And a cold front moving to the mountains late Monday into early Tuesday morning, bringing snow into the forecast. We'll talk about snowfall amounts in just a few minutes.